For some reason, every time I put on my headband, I immediately go. Hello! I just spent a lot of today with kittens. My parents are thinking of getting a new cat, and so we went to PetSmart and they have a whole bunch of new kittens. And also we went to the vet where my sister works and they have like 3-week-old kittens or 4-week-old kittens. And I got to hold one, and I've never held a baby, that small kitten before, so that was pretty amazing. So today has been a very catty day. I'm looking forward to watching Conan on 60 Minutes at 7 o'clock my time, which is like 2 hours from now. So by the time you're watching this, it might have already aired, or it might be airing, in which case you shouldn't be watching this. But anyway, I'm looking forward to that, because I haven't seen him on my TV since a long time. It's been too long. What I wanted to talk about this week is writing. I know I've talked a lot about the fact that I like to write, and that writing has been my hobby, my big main hobby, since as long as I could remember. It ties into the whole cat thing, because when I was in elementary school, when I was really little, I wasn't really little, but I was pretty little. I was 7, 8, 9. I used to write about cats all the time. I would always have I used to have little stories about my cat Mac and my dog Tasha going on murder mystery adventures. I was known as the kid that would write, and I would write these little, in my 4th grade class, we had these writing minute things where we would have a piece of paper and we were just supposed to write. It was like a free write, and then the teacher would say stop, and then we could raise our hand and share what we had written if we were confident in what we had written. And I used to always read to the class and make everybody laugh with my silly little cat stories. And a lot of that is the reason why I decided to become a English major and pursue writing. And I also wrote my first fan fiction story when I was like 9. I wrote a Pebble and the Penguin story. Yeah, I was a pretty cool kid. It's kind of fun to go back through my stuff at my parents' house and find stories that I wrote when I was really little. And that's kind of what sparked this, because at my parents' house yesterday I found a whole bunch of things that I wrote when I was starting 13, so I was a little bit older. And I will be sharing some of that with you later this week. I went on a nature trail at the place where my sister used to work, this park, and we saw a whole bunch of green frogs making the banjo noise that they make, that like bow noise. And we saw Canada geese. I call them Canadian because it sounds more appropriate, but apparently they're not really Canadian, they're just Canada. We saw turtles. We saw a mama duck and her like 6 baby ducks, and she hissed at us because we were looking at her and her babies, and she didn't want us to keep looking at her. But we attracted a crowd, so then a whole crowd was watching. She was probably really upset. And there's a chinchilla in my room. And I was on Skype on Friday night with several of my friends, and one of my friends was talking to her cat, and I thought, if I put the headset close to him and he heard her, what would he do? So I filmed him. I got out my camera and I filmed the headset and what he's doing. So here's that. He's a gregarious little guy, sort of like me. So, I hope you had a really nice weekend, and happy May, and I hope you watch Conan tonight. And if you do watch Conan tonight, please feel free to leave comments in my pants about what you thought. I'm drinking water, can you believe it? I'm cutting down on my caffeine. It's so watery.